One of the biggest conversations happening in business right now is all about AI and hiring. And it seems like everyone, everywhere, is asking the exact same question.
But here's the thing. What if that's completely the wrong question to be asking? See, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's way more nuanced. It's all about what kind of recruiter we're talking about. Because really, the entire future of hiring hinges on this one crucial distinction.
Look, we don't need recruiters who are just, button pushers, shuffling CVs from one inbox to another. Let's be honest, that part of the job should be automated. But what we absolutely desperately need are these strategic human experts, what we're calling augmented recruiters. These are the people who do what machines fundamentally cannot. And this is key. They have to stand between the machine and the candidates, acting as that essential human filter.
So to really get why this is so important, we have to first debunk this big, alluring myth, the one that so many tech companies are selling us. It's this idea that AI can just, magically pick the winners for you.
I mean, it sounds amazing, right? Just let an algorithm sift through hundreds, maybe thousands of applications, and poof, here are your top 5%. So efficient. But here's the catch. It's not just inefficient, it's a massive strategic mistake. It's a system that's almost perfectly designed to filter out your most interesting and high-potential talent right from the very start.
Okay, so why does this whole model just fall apart? Well, the fundamental flaw isn't actually the AI itself. Nope, it's the very document it's been trained to read. The resume, the CV. Just think for a second about the massive gap between what a CV actually shows and what it hides. I mean, we tell candidates, keep it short, use bullet points, get rid of anything irrelevant. And what do we get? We get this sanitized, super polished marketing document. Sure, it shows job titles and dates, but it hides the real stuff, the resilience someone learned during a career break or how they managed to navigate a really toxic team. All the juicy bits, the things that make a person unique and valuable, that's exactly what gets edited out.
And this creates this totally absurd loop. You've got a candidate using AI to write and polish their CV, smoothing out all the rough edges. And then, on the other side, your company is using another AI to read that same artificially perfect document. So what are you left with? It's just an inauthentic filtering process where one machine is basically just talking to another machine. The actual human reality, it's almost completely gone.
So let's just be brutally honest here. When you use AI as your gatekeeper, you're not finding the best people. What you're doing is automated social and cognitive filtering. That's a fancy way of saying the AI, which is trained on who you've hired in the past, is just going to find you more of the same. More people with those perfect linear career paths. More people from the same handful of schools. More profiles that look exactly like the ones you already have. It is an engine for conformity, not a tool for finding exceptional talent.
Okay, so if the machine can't be the gatekeeper, who can? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in, the augmented recruiter. And listen, this isn't just some fancy new name for the same old job. It is a fundamental, ground-up redefinition of the entire role.
So what is an augmented recruiter? They're a strategic partner. Their job isn't just to fill a vacancy. It's to orchestrate this really meaningful, mutually useful meeting. A meeting between a manager who's under real-world pressure and a candidate who has their own unique history and ambitions. They're part coach, part market expert, and crucially, part ethical safeguard. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, for starters, they're a facilitator and a coach for both sides. They help managers figure out what they really need, not just what they think they need. And they help candidates truly understand the role they're stepping into. Plus, they are that honest commercial voice in the room. The person with the guts to say, hey, your salary expectations for this kind of profile in this market, they're just not realistic. No AI is ever going to do that. Why? Because that takes accountability.
Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Their role goes even further. They're designers of the candidate journey, creating bespoke hiring processes. I mean, you don't recruit a software developer the same way you recruit a sales director, right? They're also your ethical and legal safeguard, protecting the company from all kinds of risky or unfair practices. And here's the kicker. They are a power user of AI. They know how to use the tools without ever being controlled by them. The more AI you have, the more you need this level of human expertise.
Okay, so this all leads us to the correct role for technology in all of this. If you think of the augmented recruiter as the pilot, then AI has to be the co-pilot. It's a powerful assistant, for sure, but it is not the one flying the plane. So where does AI really shine? Where should we use it?
Absolutely. Let it handle the repetitive admin and logistics. All the scheduling, the reminders, the checklists. That's a perfect job for a machine. Let it help draft initial content, like job ads, or analyze data on things like how long it takes to fill a role. But notice the pattern here. In every single one of these cases, the AI is there to support the human expert. The human retains control, provides the nuance, and actually interprets what the data means.
And this brings us to probably the single most important rule of all of this. Ready? AI should never be the first filter, ever. Its real power, its true value, comes after the human interviews have already happened. It's a tool for synthesis and clarity, not for exclusion.
So here's what the right workflow actually looks like. Step 1, humans meet and interview the final candidates. Step 2, those humans fill out detailed, structured evaluation grids so everyone's judging on the same criteria. Then, and only then, do you bring in the AI. Its job is to synthesize all those notes, create really clear side-by-side views of the finalists, and maybe even highlight potential risks or questions that are still open. See? The AI helps humans think more clearly about other humans, so they can all make that final, fully informed decision together.
When you start working this way, it creates a whole new reality for your recruiting function. I mean, adopting this model has really profound implications for how your business finds and keeps its best people.
And the shift is pretty dramatic. You move away from the old model, a huge team of recruiters buried in low-skill admin tasks, where AI feels like this constant threat of replacement. Instead, you move to the new model, a smaller, elite team of highly skilled, well-paid experts. They're not seen as admins, they're seen as strategic partners who use AI as a powerful tool to make their work even better. And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not some fluffy, nice HR initiative. This is a hard-nosed business strategy. An augmented recruiter is your first line of defense. They protect you from the absolutely immense cost of a bad hire, from the reputational damage that comes from a terrible candidate experience, and from some very real legal and ethical risks. This is a core business function, not just a support service.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple idea. An AI is designed to do one thing: find patterns. So when it looks at candidates, it's just looking for polished stones that fit the patterns of other polished stones it's seen before. What is it fundamentally incapable of doing? It can't recognize a rough diamond. You know, that person with a messy, nonlinear background who has incredible, untapped potential.
And that really brings us to our final question for you. The real job of a great recruiter isn't to find finished products. It's to dig deep, to look closely, and to be able to identify which one of those rough stones is worth the investment of cutting and polishing into something truly brilliant. So the question is that level of judgment, that uniquely human responsibility, is that something you should ever outsource to a machine?